ignore the plastic plate I was eating earlier. But hi, I never record during the day because I tend to record when I get off work at night, but I had something to say really quickly, and I wanted to make a video out of it. I'm just gonna prop you there. I feel like this is so awkward, like I'm just like having a therapy session right now. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about briefly, I want to take my channel into a more positive turn because I know that a lot of what I talk about can be seen as negative, but that's mostly because I kind of just talk about whatever I'm struggling with at the time. It's just is it still there? It's just easier to do that. Obviously it's pretty easy to just talk about like what's going on in your life, but I do want to be a little bit more positive, and I do want to talk about I have this really big flaw, I guess, of like kind of fully like believing that if I leave a situation, a job, a relationship, a friendship, whatever, I kind of am like, oh, they'll be fine. Like, I don't, like, my brain doesn't go, oh, you have an impact. Like, a lot of times I'm just like, oh, they'll be fine. So, like, I will say it causes me to be a little bit more, I don't want to say cold, but that might be the only way for, like, word for it, because in my head, I'm like, they'll be fine, you know? Versus when it's the other way around, all kinds of things are going on, but versus when it's the other way around, I'm kind of a bit more, you know, like, I'm like upset because I'm like, no, like, hey, you know, where are you going? But I just quit my job today. It was a very, I don't want to say a rash decision. It was a rash decision. Like, I wasn't planning on it, but it's been in the making for a while now. I have had two jobs, to clarify. The job that I quit actually used to be the one that financially supported me the most for a while, but we switched to new management, and the manager just did not like me, and it caused a lot of issues. I started getting scheduled one day a week, and it was like a 5-hour shift, which is not even a bad thing, but the fact that it was one day a week, it's like, I am a grown adult who has to pay for rent. I live alone. I have to pay for rent. I can't afford to do that. It went on for about a month. And I mean, I want to say more, but I definitely noticed it this past month, where every single time a schedule comes out, I get scheduled one day. And this week, I got scheduled 2 days for a total of 7 hours. I was scheduled today from like 11:30 to 4:30. Oh, 11 to 4:30. And then I was scheduled Friday, I think 11:30 to like 2 or something, for like a 2.5-hour shift. And I just kind of was like, I'm done. No thanks. Which, to be fair, like I said, I wasn't planning on it. I woke up late because I worked last night, and I woke up to a bunch of like missed calls and stuff, and I was like, crap. And then I kind of was like, you know what? For reference, so I don't sound like a completely awful person, even though whatever, I would try to pick up shifts from people. Sometimes they would, actually, I don't even want to say sometimes, most of the time, it was people who were sick or whatever, and they were texting me like, hey, can you take my shift? And I was like, yeah, I'm available because I'm not scheduled. And I would try to take said shift, and my manager would block it. He would say, no, like, you can't take that shift. He would never give me a reason. I never confronted him about it because I don't like confrontation, and I just was like, whatever. So I was never allowed to pick up any shifts from anyone. And then anytime I needed something, like, hey, for example, today I was going to try to pick up a shift this evening at my job, my other job. I was scheduled till 4:30, and I was like, hey, this other coworker is scheduled till 3. I already asked said coworker if he wanted to switch so I could leave at 3 and he could stay until 4:30. That gives him more hours, and then I can go to my other job and make money because even if it's a slow day, I might make $70, you know what I mean? Which, yeah, it's not a lot, but, you know, extra money. And so, whatever. And he was just like, yeah, I'll get back to you. Well, now it's Wednesday. He never got back to me. And every time I've asked in the past for, like, stuff like that, it's always a no. So I just was like, okay. So obviously, like, internally, I'm trying not to panic because I'm like, you just quit your job. What? You need money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rent is due in like a week or two. I don't know exactly how many days, but it's due pretty soon. But I'm gonna try and get another job, and, you know, hopefully it'll work out, and I'm gonna maybe try and pick up some shifts at my other job right now, or my only job right now. So yeah, but I do feel a sense of relief. This has been an ongoing thing where it's sucky. I come in and it kind of just seems like I'm unwanted there, you know, and I am too tired to keep fighting that battle, you know. I've been doing that for a long time. I've done that. Ironically, with the job that I'm keeping, I have also done that. It's, I've had a few issues with my male managers, you know, over my lifetime. It's always the same thing. It's an older, like, I don't want to say old, but like it's definitely like minimum my mom's age, like, man. And, you know, it's always like I don't suck up to him, and I don't like do the whole like I'm just a girl and like super like I do my job. And I'm also not a very when it comes to men, I'm not a very like social person to the extent of me trying to be friends with them. Like, we're coworkers. You're like 20, 30 years older than me. I'm not, you know, I'm not your friend. And then they get mad that I'm doing that because whatever, it hurts their ego, and then they take it out on me, which sounds so self-absorbed. And I do hope, like, it's weird to say this, but I kind of hope that it would happen with a female manager so I could know it's like actually my fault and it's like a me problem, because I've been told like, oh, you have attitude problems. I am a huge people pleaser. I constantly am trying to do my best. I'm so afraid of getting in trouble at work. Like, I don't want to be late. I don't want to like say anything rude. Like, I try so hard to do that, and yet I get told these criticisms like, you know, you just have a bad attitude and you don't, whatever. That happened with the past manager. It was also a man. He was mad because he would like try to text me and try to like talk to me a lot at work, and I would just kind of, you know, be really dry, like as far as talking or like anything. I would just kind of be like, oh yeah, cool, and then like move on. Like, I wasn't trying to hold a conversation with this person. And then he ended up reporting me and saying that I was insubordinate, I had severe attitude problems, I refused to listen, and all of this stuff that I had no idea about until I was in a meeting suddenly, and I was like, oh, what? Yeah, so that happened. And then it's happened with my manager that I'm currently working for. Same thing. And then it's happening now with said manager that I just quit because I was like, no thanks. I don't know. Maybe I should just go work at a like female run place just to try it out, you know? And obviously it's not like really one-sided, because yeah, you can have a bad manager whether it's female or male, but I've just seen this same pattern of issues, and it's always the exact same, like, practically wording or problems, and I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but if this is your sign to, you know, obviously be smart. If you cannot afford to quit this job, do not do that. But if it's your time, you know, maybe it's time to let it go and try something new. I am going to start applying to jobs probably tomorrow. I'm gonna let myself chill today, and I'm gonna go, like, see my mom, do some stuff. But yeah, like, if you can support it, and for reference, my paychecks, you know, that I was getting from this job were less than $200 every 2 weeks. So yes, it sucks to lose that because it's still money, but if I get another job, I'm sure I can make up that money. So it'll be fine. And we're about to go into summer, so it will be busy season at my restaurant. So there's that. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Like, subscribe, and I'm gonna try and veer this into a more positive channel. So hopefully that is better for everyone. Anyways, goodbye.